Now to the Warriors. After getting smoked their first two games this season, the Dubs bounced back 134-123 against the depleted Pelicans. After the game, Steph Curry had a message for anyone who dared to question a team that lost its first two games by a combined 47 points.
Everybody loves to label you when you're down and when you're losing. That's easy. It's easy to get on TV and say whatever you want. It's easy to just throw darts at a team that's trying to figure it out based on how much success we've had. So if you want to get on, say whatever you want to say, fill that 24-hour news cycle, that's cool with us. We still gonna hoop and just play basketball.
All right, Pablo, you heard Brother Minister Steph. You done throwing darts at the Warriors?
No, and now I want to throw more darts at them because Steph, who I otherwise like a lot, was going the whole when they go low, we go high kind of route on this. And it makes me feel high listening to this. Like Draymond Green, Bomani, was the guy who said, we bleeping suck. Steve Kerr, the coach of the team, said, this is our reality now. They were the ones who set the bar real low, and all we did in the media was mostly agree with it.
Yeah, but when they were 73-9, it was easy for us to say that they were the best team that we had ever seen. And nobody's like, hey, man, it's really too easy to go out here and heap praise upon us. I mean, this is what you got to do, I guess, if you're in the situation that he's in, right? But this win was not really that impressive to me. Now, they got a big margin out of this, don't get me wrong. But no Zion. No Drew Holiday. Well, Etuan Moore did not play. Like, this was a depleted version of a team that we think might be scraping to make the playoffs as it is. But it was the closest thing that Steph Curry's had to a good game this season. So good for you.
And Derek Favors, the other big absence, which allowed the Warriors to suddenly out-rebound a team by 20, 61-41. But the best argument for the Warriors is simply this. They are not as bad as the first two games showed. And part of it is because they have, admittedly, and this is where the pessimism sets in, they have like 6 actual NBA rotation players, and 3 of them are not playing right now. One of them is Willie Cauley-Stein. Another one of them is Alec Burks, right? So the problem is they have a talent deficit, but Steph Curry, before this game, had shot 4 for 20 from 3. That's not going to happen every night.
It's not, but I have to say that saying that you have 6 NBA players is not the best way to sell the point that they're not as bad as they seem. At this point, how many games do you think this team is going to win this year? Because I'm leaning south of 40.
Ooh, I go above 40, but I make it like 41. Let us turn now to Thunder Rockets, where Houston found the joy of coexistence through separation. Russell Westbrook flew around the court going 21, 12, and 9. James Harden went to the line 21 times and wound up with 40 points, but they seemed most comfortable apart when they were asked to be themselves by themselves. So, Bo, do you think that staggering Harden and Westbrook addresses the biggest question we have about this team?
Well, if the biggest question about this team was whether the two of those guys could play together, then obviously the answer is no, right? Does this answer whether they can play together? No, we're just not going to play them at the same time. At some point, you're going to get to some minutes out here where you need to have your best players on the floor. Presumably, these are 2 of your 5 best players. You need to find a way to have them out there. And on top of having them out there, when is Eric Gordon going to show back up in like a capable form? Because he seems to be the guy that's trying to figure out how to do this alongside these dudes, and it's not working so well for him either. So, no, it is good that they will be able to find a way to get through the regular season with these 2 guys, but I need to know how this works when they're out there together.
That is it to me. This feels like a regular season solution. You can keep these guys on mostly parallel tracks. You can have them doing things they're really great at. Russell Westbrook, as James Harden praised him after the game last night, gets offensive rebounds, does the dirty work, the stuff that James Harden, by the way, doesn't like to do himself. But James Harden, to his credit, remains a half-court guy. Russell Westbrook remains a full-court guy. Maybe the best testament to the Rockets' wisdom on any of this, though, is that they're not really trying to change Russell Westbrook yet because perhaps that is impossible to begin with.
But I think that when people say that about Russ, they kind of ignore his history in Oklahoma City demonstrates that as the circumstances change, his game changes also. So if he doesn't have to do all the things he was doing when he was super duper triple-double man, he's likely to fall back. You can look at what's going on this year. You don't see him taking all those threes as much as you had before, for example. So the idea that you can't change him, there's some level on which you cannot change him. But I don't think that he's going to be so adamant to try to force his will upon this when it's counter to what's good with the team. With Oklahoma City, who else is going to take those shots?
Right, and in fact, the Rockets are doing the opposite. They're kind of speeding up because they have Russ faster than even the 7 seconds or less.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.